Lesbian Detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now. Lesbian Detectives. Lesbian Detectives. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready. Let's go.
Pay attention to the message. I present to you the Lesbian Detectives.
This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we are here talking about missing and unsolved murders.
We are discussing cases that you have forgotten about or never even heard of.
So sit back, relax, and let's start this podcast. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to a new episode on a new week. Thank you all for joining us and coming and listen to our little podcast. Our weekend was long. We went out with friends. We took our daughter to the petting zoo. We chilled at home for like half a day.
I really enjoyed True Looks. The lemon garlic butter sauce. It was to die for.
We know.
I said it like 10 times and they were checking me every time. But it is amazing, guys, and I need to learn how to make it.
Please, too.
My wife got hit on.
Okay.
And she's super happy about it. She says she looked like a whole stud and she got a femme. I don't know if it's true or not.
We're going to cut this part out.
Why?
Why would you say that?
What? You like that?
She probably see it. God.
So?
Okay, yeah, you're right. She need to see how cute I look.
Yeah.
You jealous?
No.
Damn. Now let's get into the episode. She was a quiet soul, known for her love of animals, photography, and the arts. Life hadn't been easy. She struggled with depression and a relationship that seemed to darken with each passing month. Neighbors often heard arguments through the thin walls, shouting, slamming doors, uneasy silence. Then one day, the noise stopped altogether. She vanished without a trace. Her apartment held unsettling clues, a half-packed suitcase, untouched medication, and no signs of forced entry. Days passed before anyone noticed she was gone. Mail collected dust. Her music no longer drifted through the windows. In her car, a familiar blue sedan was missing. Weeks later, it was found abandoned downtown, coated in cobwebs. Inside, everything looked undisturbed, but authorities hit at discovering something unusual that could point to what really happened. They never said what was it. The last person known to have seen her refused to answer questions. What happened in that apartment remains a mystery. Whether she left unwillingly or was taken is unknown. All that remains is silence and a father-enduring hope that she's still out there somewhere. This is the case of Rosemary Day. In the warm spring of May 2011, in a quiet apartment complex nestled on the west side of Jacksonville, Florida, a young woman began quietly vanishing, first from the view of her neighbors, then from the lives of her family, and finally from the world entirely. Her name was Rosemary Day. She was 27 years old. By the time her absence was officially reported on May the 30th, Almost no one had seen or heard from her for a whole entire week. Her phone had gone silent. Her apartment, once filled with the soft hum of music and the scent of her favorite insect, now sat eerily still. A petrol-packed suitcase lay untouched. Her depression medication still sat on the counter. A cracked pipe was also found, as if to hint at struggling no one fully understood. And outside her home, no sign of her car, no note, no goodbye, just gone. Born on October 6, 1983, Rosemary was a gentle spirit from the beginning. She graduated from Orange Park High School, where she excelled academically, played sports, and sang in the choir. She had a passion for photography and a love for animals, often volunteering her time or offering to take photos of her friend just to make them feel beautiful. She had tried college, first at the University of Central Florida, then at the University of North Florida, studying journalism, dreaming perhaps of one day telling stories herself. But life had other plans. She never finished her degree. Life had begun to shift for Rosemary in a quiet, subtle ways that are hard to map until it's too late. To her friends, she was quiet, but deeply kind. To her family, she was sweet, loyal, and loved to laugh. And yet behind her warm smile lived something else, years of depression. She mostly kept to herself in a relationship many now describe as violent and dangerous. Throughout her early 20s, Rosemary wrestled with chronic depression. She'd been on and off her medication, sometimes with success, sometimes not. Friends said she had good days filled with laughter, cooking experiments, and long talk about the world. But she also had silent stretch, periods where she wouldn't leave her apartment, when she would retreat into herself, not answering calls, not answering the door. Mental illness she often confined in a friend felt like drowning in a room full of people who didn't notice. By 2010, she had dropped out of college and was now living in Jacksonville trying to start over. She moved into a modest apartment on Monodic Avenue on the city west side. The walls were bare. The apartment was quiet, but it was hers. It was her chance to rebuild. And then she met James Smith III.
His name was James Smith III, a man 20 years her senior, charismatic, street smart, and on the surface, kind. But beneath the charm was a long history of violence, manipulation, and control. He had served time in prison for armed robbery, had a pattern of domestic violence complaints, and according to friends, saw women as things to own rather than people to love. It's unclear how they met. Some believe it was through mutual acquaintances. Others say Rosemary met him during a vulnerable moment, perhaps a depression episode, perhaps during a relapse involving drugs. He was the last person seen with Rosemary before she vanished, and their history was stormy, documented in police reports, restraining orders, and tearful phone calls made late at night. In January 2010, Rosemary showed up at Smith's home and refused to leave. She told police he had assaulted her in a motel room that night before he had strangled her, that she had blacked out during an argument in the motel room. She alleged he had threatened to kill her if she ever left. He denied everything. No arrests were made. It would not be the last time violence would color their relationship. In February 2011, just months before she vanished, Rosemary called the police again, this time claiming that Smith had attacked her in her own apartment. After she tried to end things, she told officers she had been abused repeatedly, threatened with a gun, and lived in fear that he might kill her. But as is often the case in these tragic stories, fear and trauma coiled around her decision-making. Though charges were filed, Rosemary refused to pursue them. Prosecutors dropped the case weeks later, citing insufficient evidence and conflicting accounts. Smith, for his part, accused Rosemary of flying into a suicidal rage when he refused to buy her drugs, another painful fragment in an already complicated portrait. They were both ordered to stay away from each other by a judge, but sometimes court orders aren't enough. Yet, like so many women trapped in cycles of abuse, Rosemary returned to him again and again, out of fear, out of trauma bonding, out of the deep, painful belief that maybe love could fix it. Maybe she didn't deserve better. Neighbors reported hearing an argument sometime between May 21st and May 25th. Raised voices, a door slammed shut, then nothing. Silence. One neighbor, Donna Arnold, had grown close to Rosemary over the months and had been urging her to leave Smith for good. Rosemary, in a moment of quiet vulnerability, once admitted, "I just don't want to be alone." And then she vanished. When her parents filed a missing persons report, they were already gripped by fear. Her father, Jerry Day, said Rosemary never went more than a few days without checking in, no matter how bad things were. A full week of silence wasn't like her. It wasn't forgetfulness. It was a warning. By late May 2011, the signs had begun to pile up. Rosemary hadn't been collecting her mail. The music that usually floated through her apartment window had gone silent. A friend knocked on her door. No answer. Days passed, then a week. Her car, a blue Toyota Corolla, was gone. She was officially reported missing on May the 30th, 2011. Inside her apartment, police found unsettling clues. A particularly packed suitcase sat on the bed. A crack pipe rested on the nightstand. Her antidepressants were still in the bottle. Nothing appeared stolen. There was no sign of forced entry. But to the neighbors, something felt wrong. One recalled hearing a fight and a door slam, likely the last time anyone heard her voice. Then, on June 17, 2011, nearly 3 weeks after her disappearance, Rosemary's car was discovered abandoned in downtown Jacksonville. It was parked in the 900 block of North Liberty Street, covered in cobwebs, as if it had been left untouched for days. The interior was clean, no sign of struggle, no obvious evidence of a crime, but investigators noted that they found unspecific information that could help explain what happened to her. They never said what the information was. To this day, no one knows if Rosemary drove the car there or if someone else did. Her father, Jerry Day, never gave up hope. A devout Christian, a loving parent, he spent years posting flyers, pleading with the media, and trying to hold on to faith. In one heart-wrenching interview, he said, "I'd rather go to my grave thinking she's alive out there somewhere than to know she's dead." He walked the streets of downtown Jacksonville, searching alleyways and shelters, hoping someone had seen her. He called every hospital, every jail, every morgue. Nothing. Her best friend from childhood, Jacqueline Spivey Adams, continued distributing flyers long after the police moved on. She remembers a girl who used to sing with her in the school choir, a girl who brought her laughter, a girl she still dreams about. "I just want to know she's okay," she told reporters. "I want to believe she's still out there." James Smith never helped in the search. When a reporter knocked on his door, he offered a short, emotionless response. "I already talked to the cops." And then he shut the door. Though never named as a suspect, many close to Rosemary believe he knows more than he's saying. But without a body, without clear evidence, and without Rosemary able to speak for herself, there have been no arrests, no indictments, only silence. And time, relentless, unforgiving time marches on. It's been more than 14 years since Rosemary vanished. Her photo still appears in the missing persons database. Her name still echoes in the domestic violence survivor forums. Her case is sometimes whispered about in true crime circles, but in the larger world, she's been almost entirely forgotten. But some of us remember. We remember a young woman who wanted to be a journalist, who loved animals and poetry, who had the kind of smile that made strangers feel less alone, who tried to escape a man who hurt her, who nearly made it. And we remember this. She never got to start over. She never got to be free. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 800-799-7233 or text START to 88788. Before we end this case, let's sit back and remember the woman that went missing, Rosemary. Even after all this time, she remains with those who knew her. And a laugh remembered, a song she used to sing, the way the light used to catch her hair just right. Her absence is a wound time has not healed, but her presence has never truly left. It lives on in every person who continued to hope, in every photograph she took, in every prayer whispered into the silence. She was more than the circumstance that surrounded her disappearance. She was more than fear, more than struggle, more than the headlines or the unanswered questions. She was joy and tenderness. She was someone who sang in the car, someone who talked to animals as if they were old friends. She found beauty in simple things. A new book, a cup of coffee, a quiet morning. She loved it deeply, even when it hurt, and she longed to be loved in return. Her family still speaks of her in the present tense. They can't help it. To them, she's just one step away, just around the corner, just out of reach. Every missed birthday, every holiday, every sunset that fades into night is a reminder of the void she left behind, but also a moment to remember who she was. Not just how she vanished, but how she lived. Though the search for answer continues, so does something even stronger. The hope that she found peace somewhere beyond the pain. That maybe, just maybe, she escaped the storm and found a quiet place to begin again. Or that wherever she is, she knows how fiercely she loved herself. And so the story remains, not just as an open case or an unsolved mystery, but as a soft and enduring echo of the life that mattered, a reminder that she hasn't forgotten. Someone is still waiting for her return. This is the case of Rosemary Day. Now let's get into some theories.
Theories.
Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian Detectives. What type of thoughts you thinking? What theories running through your mind? I'm thinking all types of suspicion. Uncover the truth, what we can find. Witness say they saw somebody creeping out the back door. What you think they did it for? That's so crazy, I'm not sure. They found a car, where could she be? Here go another puzzle piece. Research and do your history. It's plenty unsolved mysteries. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories, yeah. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian Detectives.
You or me?
Good.
I have two theories. And I hope the first one comes true.
All right.
My first theory is that Rosemary did get out. That she was in an abusive relationship. And I don't know for a fact. I have been looking into the underground help for women that's in a DV relationship. And sometimes they would go missing. Their clothes and shoes, everything they love is still be in their house because they have to change their name. They have to change everything about themselves to get away from this man.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder, because her bags was packed, they're like, no, girl, we can't take nothing. Like, you have to get out. And they heard that door slam was her running away. That's my hope and dream that did happen to her. I know, like Sierra, like, that can't be possible. It's a small chance. I mean, because I know, not for sure, but I have been like researching because I wanted to come with information on this, that I know a lot of women that goes into the underground shelters, they'll just go missing. They go completely missing. That you're like, oh my God, like, is she's okay? Did he finally hurt her? No, those women, like, they have to not take nothing that they own. They have to change their name. They have to, because they're running away from somebody that could kill them.
Right.
Then my second one is, he saw her running and he did unalive her. I mean, that's the one that I hope and pray that's not true, but that is a possibility, that he saw her run. He was like, you're not leaving me. And he strangled her and left. The thing that I'm stuck on is the car. The car is so important because the police, they're not telling us. One thing I think is, like, did the police find blood in there? Or I know that if her body was in there, in the trunk, they can have the dog come sniff it. And if the
Right.
dog, like, bark or alert them, like, yeah, it was a body, that could be another thing. It the seat was pushed back to his level. I mean, hearing what kind of man he wasn't a nice man.
Right.
And I'm sorry that, like, it seemed like, and this happened to a lot of women or even men, that they are in such a vulnerable state of mind that somebody that's, like, not meant for them, that can really damage them, will come and attack that moment.
Right.
Because it seemed like she was doing good in life. Then something happened, seemed like it was the drugs, that made her turn and go to a darker path. But it seemed like if he didn't come into the picture, we'll be telling a different story. It seemed like she was trying to get herself back. She was trying to become a better person. But drugs and a bad man, not a chance sometimes. It's like, it's hard. You fighting two demons, basically. You fighting the drugs, that's a demon, and you fighting the man, that's a demon. So it's like, it's hard. And then she had depression, so she had another demon on her. It's like, this girl had so many struggles that it just seemed like it was so hard. And then what she told her neighbor, I don't want to be alone. Let me tell you, women out there, it's okay to be alone.
Right.
I told my wife, if she cheat on me and do something to me in a damaging way, I'm leaving her. I'm okay to be alone. I'm okay to start back over. We have to get in that mindset. If somebody hurt us and not good for us, leave. Don't be scared to be alone. Don't be scared to start over. It's okay. You might struggle, but you'll be in a better headspace, and get some therapy. I am the person who will tell you, therapy does work. If you need my therapist, let me know.
So I think I agree with your second theory the most. Drugs had a hold of her, like you said, depression, this man. I just want to know, like, what exactly he told police and why police didn't really look into it a little bit further. I know this happened in 2011, so technology was pretty advanced. They could see the location of where he was at what time. And it's just sad that it took so long to report her.
Mm-hmm.
And even though, like, her parents knew that something was off, they didn't really react in the time that they were supposed to, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't get reported until...
We don't know if it's May the 21st or May the 25th. She wasn't reported missing until May the 30th, so...
Yeah, so that's like a whole week that passed by that they're estimating. I really do feel that the guy was the one that did it. Every abusive relationship ends in a tragic way
Mm-hmm.
unless you leave and you find the right people to get away.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, for me, it's really hard to see her seeking help when she's so into drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't want to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
And this man is the only one that can give her what she thinks she needs at the time. Drugs can really influence you and change your brain chemistry. So she wasn't thinking clearly. He wasn't thinking clearly. And maybe they got upset. They had an argument and he finally just kind of pulled the trigger and was like, I'm done with you.
Mm-hmm.
And if he did it, he's gotten away with it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he hasn't stopped. Let's just be honest. He found himself a next victim. And then it's like sometimes we in a relationship like that, just hearing how he kind of just talked to her.
Mhm.
And even to the police, he was like, oh, she wanted me to buy drugs. Oh, she's very suicidal. Like, he's telling them all, like, look at me. I'm perfect. Like, I don't have none of these issues. But look at her. She's on drugs. She's suicidal. Like, you need to deal with her. But it's like, I wish she didn't, like, drop the charges. Like, she
Right.
had it. And I know, like, the police, like, it's going to take a lot for the judge to even, like, try to convince. Because, you know, sometimes judges will, like, oh, we'll have a lot of information
Mhm.
or this or that. But it's like, if they put him in jail, say him a bun, she could have really left. You know?
Well, the judge had ordered them to stay separated, to not be together, but they didn't listen.
Mm-hmm.
And they violated the court order, but it's just, it's sad. And I don't know what her life was like to where she had to turn into drugs.
I mean, sometimes you can go to a party and your friends can peer pressure or somebody. They're like, girl, like, go and try. Like, it's not that bad. Like, it doesn't even matter sometimes. Like, you can be like, you know what? Let me just try it this one time.
Which I understand, but it almost seems like she had issues before that.
Yeah, her depression.
Exactly. And maybe drugs was her way out, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not the correct way. Always, talk to a therapist, to your doctors, talk to somebody so
Mm-hmm.
they can get you the right help. But drugs is never the answer. And it's only going to lead you to a path of destruction.
Mm-hmm.
She came across that man that was also manipulating her, abusing her, and she just believed everything that he said. So she would drop the charges. She knew it was bad. She knew he was hurting her, but she just couldn't follow through staying away from that man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like at the end, like evil won.
Mm-hmm.
And she used to sing in the choir, so she was very talented. She used to put a smile on a lot of people's faces, but it's just, it got taken away. And honestly, I've seen what drugs can do to the people that you love. And to me, it's like one of the worst things that you could put somebody through.
Right. I agree. And just looking, like, she had so many people that did love her.
Mhm.
And it's like so many people was trying to get her out. Even her neighbor heard and saw so much. But I do hope it's the first theory, guys. Like, sometimes we can dream, you know?
Yeah.
You can dream that she's out there on the beach living her best life, getting the help that she needs. And it's like, I remember one part of the case where he actually did strangle her and she blacked out. That's another thing that he almost unalived her again. And I wonder what she did tell the police. Did they even look at her neck? Because if she said, like, he strangled me and I blacked out. But it's like, did they give him a chance to look at her neck? Because if he's really strangling her, it would have been prints. It would have been marks. And it seemed like the police didn't care. If they actually did their job and like, let me see your marks, let me do this.
Well, I feel like it was very hard for the police to do their job because it's like they were constantly playing this game. And that's why I don't blame the police with this case, because it was basically two drug addicts and people already have a certain view of them.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't really like to get involved because it's super messy, super confusing, and you try to do the right thing by them, but they don't listen. So it's like, it's people that can't be helped until they're ready,
Mhm.
So I don't really blame the police for not doing more because they were just spiraling out of control.
I mean, I do. I'm sorry, I do. Because even with the car situation where she did go missing, what evidence did y'all find? Could y'all find more? Could y'all charge him? There's a lot that they could have done when she went missing. So that's another thing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. After she went missing, they could have done more, but it's very messy.
Yeah, because it seemed like they did help her, but then she didn't finish pressing the charges.
It's just really hard to help somebody that doesn't want the help.
Sometimes, like you said, they're not ready. Like, if my friend is struggling and I could give her all the advice and all the help she needs, but if she's not ready to take that jump or to follow through and the help, it's not gonna benefit. And that's true.
Yeah.
Sometimes people aren't ready for the help.
Right.
But it seemed like her family was gonna be there when she needs it.
Right.
Because when you're a neighbor, even I'm saying, guys, her neighbor's finna help her out. Like, that's amazing. She had the help. A lot of women or men don't have that type of help.
Right.
Well, that's our case. And this case right here was a doozy. Guys, please follow us on all our social medias. Give us that 5-star rating on all podcast platforms. Please like, subscribe, and comment in our description on YouTube. And don't forget, I do True Crime 1 Minute on all our social medias. I be trying to really post on all social media, but I mostly posted on TikTok. And if you miss us, oh my God, I want to hear more videos, go over there. I have clips, I have video, I have everything that you need and you want. So please join us on our social medias. My wife, she does Reddits on her social media, and we be having the time of our life. She's obsessed with Reddits. I'm kind of getting into Reddits a little bit. It's exciting. It's exciting stuff. This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
Don't forget, everybody's a suspect.
So proven innocent.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Adios.
Lesbian Detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now. Lesbian Detectives. Lesbian Detectives. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready. Let's go. Pay attention to the message. I present to you the Lesbian Detectives.